I thought we might do an interview. I could fill you in on all the behind the scenes. The costume department has done an incredible job designing this suit from scratch. The first time I saw a glimpse in the monitor, after we had shot something, I saw a little bit of playback of the suit, of me in the suit on camera. I thought, yeah, that looks pretty freaking cool. And then just today when we did the publicity photo shoot, I think that was the first time that I said, like, oh, this is, yeah, I mean, it's an iconic look.
I mean, he's iconic for the best, the top, the invulnerable, the most power, uncorruptible. When you want to, what is the highest, most upper echelon you can think of? That's Superman. And also, he's probably going to be on your side, unless you're evil, right? So you can always count on him. That's the idea. You'd think if everything's going terribly wrong, if only Superman were here.
One of the biggest inspirations for this film, especially from a visual perspective, but also tonal perspective, is Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's All-Star Superman. So taking the visual language of that graphic novel, but then adding in an element of, I guess, realism of, you know, of the handheld camera that I use to kind of keep the characters more grounded and feeling as if it's a part of our real world within this incredibly big and colorful and bright environment. And then also having some of the grit of the 70s movies that I love and that the original Superman was one of. To keep some elements of that, I think it was mostly a combination of those three things.
I think the thing that jumped out to me was that it was a James Gunn script and his style of writing. You can kind of instantly imagine what this film becomes. Having seen a lot of his work and loved it, reading the script, I was like, oh, fantastic. It's James Gunn's take on a Superman story and world and all these exciting characters and ideas that he's focused in on from the comics. So that's what was thrilling about it.
Lois Lane is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist who is a star reporter at the Daily Planet. I love that she's relentless in her life. She's relentless about her pursuit of the truth. She's relentless about the things that she cares about. She's passionate. I was always aware of Lois Lane. I grew up on the Chris Reeve Superman with Margot Kidder, and I just thought she was amazing and so smart and funny and sharp. And it still kind of feels like a dream. I can't believe we're here embodying these iconic characters. And the response from the outside has been so amazing. It's feels like it's multiplied the excitement just getting to talk to people on the outside about what these characters mean to them.
The scene we screen tested with was a really great way to start because it also established that the heart of the movie is in the characters and their relationships. And while there's going to be some banging action, the core of it is about people and their ideas and their ideals.
James just has that Midas touch, I think. Sort of like he gets to the core of what these movies are. Like everything that you want out of a superhero movie is there. I mean, you have like the just like the epic world building and a real original kind of take on all of that. But then there's also this like whimsical, very heartfelt, like human element to it as a through line through all of it. There's just a lot of like comedy, and he cares so deeply about the characters, and I think that really comes through in this movie and kind of all his movies, but this one especially, seen as this is sort of like we're originating a lot of characters here and meeting them for the first time.
You know, that was one of the things that I think James has really nailed in this script is Lex, you know, is the bad guy for the story, but there's also a lot of things in his character and in his ideas and persona that maybe are right and aren't initially too crazier of an idea. So as misguided as he might be, his moral perspective and judgment off, he kind of believes in his soul that he's doing the best thing for humanity and he can protect them, and that these, you know, meta-humans are a threat to us all. And I think that place is quite a pure sense of where he's starting out from. Hopefully I didn't play it to like a caricature. We'll see.
I think what really jumps off the page for me is that we're already here. We're already in a world that knows about Superman. It's not our world, which is something we've been sold many times, which is what would happen if Superman were real and came to our world. But this is more so, what if we existed in his world, that comic book world where interdimensional beings are a fact of life. Everybody gets it. There's aliens. We're not the only ones around here. Bank robbers are themed, like the Animal Gang, and they all wear different, like that's the kind of comic book stuff. Giant robots. This is the stuff I was sold when I was reading comic books as a kid. And this is the world that James is letting us live in for a moment, which I think is very fresh and very different.
I was very afraid about finding the right Superman, and luckily I saw David reading on the first day, and I was like, holy God, that's amazing. And I think that, you see him in that scene in the movie, and you realize this guy's just a fantastic actor, and he also just happens to look and act and sound a lot like Superman.
To have a director who is so known for spectacle and for heart as well, but I think he has a great simplicity to the heart in his films. To realize that he also is interested in incredibly complex dialogue. There was nothing that was off the table. There was nothing that was not of interest to him.
This is probably the best set that I've ever been on. And it's because the magic is James. He not only wrote the material, he knows it intimately, and he's directing this film, but he also does create an environment where there's just total freedom. And freedom can be scary because if you have all that freedom and you don't have anything to access, then you feel like a failure. But you have James, who together helps you find new things that you couldn't anticipate. He's a magician.
James Gunn's set is infusing a movie with love and hope. He did a deep dive on all of us, and he brought together this group of people who are just excited to be here and happy to be here every day. And he loves these universes. He loves these characters, and that kind of energy comes from the top. And so it's just been a blast.
We're all having the best time filming this movie. There's a camaraderie that you really don't get very often, and especially on big things where a lot of that stuff just gets lost in the weeds. James prioritizes it. He makes sure that everyone is tapping into that kind of heart that is in the script, that's in the movie. And you can feel it. You can feel it, that everyone is kind of pitching in to bring this wonderful energy.
Costumes, color, music. He's got everything built up. He's got it all ordered up in his mind. He knows what's happening. So also you're just kind of also trying to play catch up with him. He's got a lot going on, that guy. He knows what he's doing. That's the thing. That's what's great about working with James.
I said to David, you don't need my blessing, but you have it. Like, go ahead, do your thing. We root for people, right? We're in the business of building people up and helping people and giving more than we take. So we're thrilled for him. He's a Juilliard-trained actor, which sits well with us as the children of a Juilliard-trained actor who made his name as Superman. We're very happy for everyone who's on this Superman journey.
I can just say that I'm excited for it, and I've got to read the script. I've got to be on set and see a small part of the movie. And from everything that I've seen, I'm like, oh, this is a movie that I would love to go to the cinema and see. So hopefully other people do too.
I think we're making some really cool stuff that's going to be worth waiting for and worth getting hyped about and worth seeing on a big screen.